a second Boeing whistleblower has died. That's right, what's that, in the span of just a couple months. His name was Joshua Dean. He was a former quality auditor at Boeing supplier Spirit AeroSystems, and one of the first whistleblowers to allege Spirit leadership had ignored manufacturing defects on the 737 MAX. And he died Tuesday morning after a struggle with a sudden and fast spreading infection. He was 45 years old only. He was in good health. He was noted for having a healthy lifestyle, supposedly. He had an infection and came down with pneumonia and then got MRSA in the hospital and died after 2 weeks of being in critical condition. That's according to his aunt. Dean had given a deposition in a Spirit shareholder lawsuit and also filed a complaint with the Federal Aviation Administration alleging, quote, serious and gross misconduct by senior quality management of the 737 product line at Spirit. Spirit fired Dean in April of 2023, so about a year ago. And he had filed a complaint with the Department of Labor alleging his termination was in retaliation for raising concerns related to aviation safety. That, of course, did not prevent Spirit from issuing this apology. Our thoughts are with Josh Dean's family. This sudden loss is stunning news here and for his loved ones. That's according to a spokesperson. Like, this is what I don't get. I'm not saying that this was some sort of malpractice or some sort of conspiracy, that someone gave him an infection, that someone, whatever, poisoned him. Although now I'm saying it sort of in a weird couched ironic way, all of those things that I might think off air. But like, if you're Spirit and you already fired this man for being a whistleblower effectively, for retaliating against him, then he dies a year later, you don't gotta say nothing. You don't have to issue this apology. It really rings hollow and it's very, very suspect. And just as a reminder, Josh or Mitch Barnett was the first whistleblower to die, and this was by suicide or apparent suicide. He was in the midst of he was really literally days into giving this deposition that alleged that Boeing retaliated against him for his complaints about quality lapses when he was found dead from a gunshot wound in Charleston, South Carolina, where Boeing has a 787 manufacturing facility. The coroner of Charleston County has said that it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but the police are still investigating that death. But Yaz, look, maybe this is me loving a little bit of corporate criminality and conspiracy. I love the movie Michael Clayton, which had everything to do with that. I love an Aaron Brockovich, even though it didn't quite get to this kind of level. But this is a little bit fishy here.
Yeah, this is unreal. One dead whistleblower is crazy. 2 dead whistleblowers is unbelievable. And for Boeing, and I guess I take this a little bit personally because so many people around where I live work for Boeing. But let's say hypothetically that Boeing is offing its whistleblowers because they're worried about the PR aspect of things. Dead whistleblowers is way worse for PR than whatever these whistleblowers has to say. And it's also so much easier to just be better, right? To just fix the things that are being whistleblown about. Because a lot of the things that they're talking about are fixable, like quality control is lacking. So do better quality control, right? Do better going forward. People are afraid to fly now on these Boeing planes because of all the things that we're hearing coming from the whistleblowers and then all the accidents that have been happening. And it feels, I don't know, like we'd have to look back at the history of these kind of things, but it feels like it's been happening more and more recently than they have been in the past. So my advice to Boeing is just be better, be best Boeing, please.
And he was right. Like, this is the thing, that this whistleblower who, I was about to buy a ticket on Spirit and I was like, I don't know about that. Now I'm definitely not gonna buy a Spirit ticket, but it doesn't matter which the airline is, right? It is who manufactured the plane. Joshua Dean, this guy who was blowing the whistle on the 737 MAX, this is the same plane that crashed twice.
Yeah.
Like, it's been grounded. He was right. And they fired him a year ago. So, and again, with retaliation, it often can happen years later, right? This was years after he actually spoke up about this. Obviously, years after these 2 plane crashes happened and the 737 MAX was grounded. But they're trying to cover their bases, and so they fired him. And again, we are not to leap to conspiracy theories. We don't know what happened. MRSA is a very serious infection that if you get in a hospital absolutely can lead to your death. But he was having respiratory problems, and that's what landed him in the hospital. But it is very creepy, and it is amazing, to your point, that our minds immediately go to foul play over, well, a corporation would do what any upstanding business would do and make things right and make sure people are flying on safe planes. And who cares if it takes an extra day on the, on the loading dock or on, in the plant? It's worth it. No, it's not. Them CEOs having a fifth home in the Cayman Islands is worth it.
Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.